I had a question come up recently, multiple times, so I think the universe is saying, it's a lesson, something to look at, pay attention to, and decide whether or not that's right for me. Usually when it happens in threes. If I want to teach or lead a divine masculine group, a group of men seeking those answers within themselves, to connect fully with Source and embody that divine masculine, that protective, outward masculine, humble, kind, strong, balanced warrior that we all are as men. I mean, even the divine feminine as well. But this is about the divine masculine at this point in time. If you look back at our history that we live in right now, it's a fact that men, their testosterone, their warrior-like mentality, not that you gotta be, when I say warrior, I don't mean a violent, angry person who goes to fight. I mean who can look at life and conquer anything that comes in front of them, a warrior. If you have an issue that comes up, you don't run from it, you look at it, figure it out, and deal with it. Find that power within you. So that's been poisoned, bred out, brainwashed out, and just washed out of our cultures. If you look at it, the amount of estrogen found in men now at younger ages, and the amount of soy products that we have everywhere that raise the estrogen, the amount of flax products. There's a movement now, there's always a movement to go healthier. There's a vegetarian movement, and then there's also a vegan movement now that's really taking up steam. A lot of restaurants are jumping on the bandwagon. There's a lot of money behind it, that's why. In my opinion, vegan is too far. It's depleting your body of minerals that you need to be that divine masculine man, or divine feminine woman, or whatever you choose to call yourself. It doesn't matter. But when you start tweaking with your physiology in a manner that brings it out of balance from what you're born or what you choose to be, via foods, via medications, via synthetic chemicals that are found in our environment, synthetic chemicals that we put on our body, wash our clothes with, all of these things matter. They affect the resonance of your body. So ultimately, it's not right or wrong. It's your free will to choose to do what you choose to do. And if you choose to be as balanced as you can be in your XY chromosome man, divine masculine, or the XX female chromosome, divine feminine, that's up to you, or anything in between. That's your free will. It's okay. So this is about the divine masculine, the XY chromosome. There's a lot of things that have been, how do we start this? Let's say, all right. Circumcision, soy, genetically modified soy. There's atrazine. You might want to check that spelling. Actually, circumcision, I spelled that wrong too. But you get the point of what I'm talking about. There's certain things that have been put in our environment. Synthetic detergents. Alcohol, beer. Beer raises your estrogen. Sorry guys, it does. Sugar. Sugar makes your body more acidic. It lowers testosterone levels and increases your potential for all kinds of imbalances like cancer. Cancer feeds on sugar. Imbalance feeds on sugar. Now, let's do this. Processed sugar, refined sugar. This is not fruits, organic, non-GMO pineapple sugar. This is the fake stuff that we see everywhere in our food today, which is no longer food, it's feed. So if you want to get down to the root issues of the divine masculine right now, you need to look at the big picture, in my opinion. Now, most importantly is your emotions, how you feel. What are the emotions you carry? What are the traumas from your past that you have not healed yet? What are the traumas from your current that you're still working on? What are traumas from past lives that you may be not even aware of, but subconsciously you feel them? All of these matter. That's the most important, is your emotions. It's the most powerful. Next is your thoughts. How do you think of yourself? What is your self-image? Do you think you're worthy enough to be a divine masculine being? Are you honoring your true power, your true nature? Are you standing firm in your foundation and doing whatever you set your mind to? And as being a divine masculine, that is a loving, balanced, protective role for your community, for your family, for your loved ones, for friends, for people on the internet, for anybody. Just for yourself, more appropriately. And what it really boils down to is you connecting with source within you, your heart, our true divine spark, the spirit, that essence that animates all. That's what we're trying to connect with, if you really get down to the root of it. So there are levels to all of this. Your emotions are a level, your thoughts are another level. Your physical action and environment and what you ingest matters. So processed sugars, beers, circumcision is from birth, as well as, we'll just call them shots, because I'm not sure if they would all be technically called vaccines. And this was at birth too. Well, a little bit after birth. But we didn't have, we manifest everything. Everything that's ever happened to you is you're doing, you're manifesting it. And we live with others who manifest, and we agreed to work with them. So we agreed to be, anyone who has been or hasn't been, you've agreed to be either circumcised or not circumcised. Those who have been circumcised are manifesting a lesson for themselves that involves a more physical, direct lesson. So it's something that a man can see and feel himself. He sees his body, he feels it, he feels what changed. Now, men who haven't had it, they don't feel that, but they also feel things like these that are affecting them. So every lesson is different for every being. Every consciousness, every being here is manifesting their own lessons appropriately. But many of these lessons we share, which many, if not most, have had shots since birth. I'm not saying they're good or bad, but there are synthetic chemicals inside of these shots that do alter the frequency of our body, the resonance of our body, that our body would not have if it weren't for those shots. I'm not going to say if it's good or bad, that's for you to decide. I know where I stand. I prefer naturally, and we can discuss that another day with why I have that belief. That's my belief, not putting it on anybody else. You make your own mind up. But I prefer to be as natural as possible, including this one. So including all this, getting rid of all of these. So I don't use synthetic detergent on my clothing. I don't use synthetic soap on my body. I don't use synthetic air fresheners. I don't wear cologne. I use, I'll wear essential oils and things like that. My soap has, citrus and other scents that are naturally from oranges or pine or, plants that we can see everywhere. So no synthetics, because that lowers your vibration, that alters your frequency. Now, I left this on the board because this is a magnetic field. This is a magnet here, this is a magnet here. If you look under what's called a ferrocell, you will see these magnetic lines of force. It's the dielectric interaction with the ether that we live in. And I left it here because that's how our bodies are made. We all have a torus around ourselves, each one of us. I know a lot of people think that's new age, hocus pocus, but it's physics. If you really get down to it, we all have a torus field. I know right now it looks like a nuclear bomb, and that's not by accident or coincidence. So we all have a torus. This is the dielectric plane that creates the electron shell of all atoms and the cell wall of all cells. And the skin of the apple, the skin of the orange, the rind of the orange. So everything has a certain pattern that it flows with at a certain frequency. The difference in the frequency changes what the item is. So an apple resonates a certain frequency versus an orange. And that's what makes them different, is their vibration in the ether. I don't want to get too deep right now, but the reason I'm saying this is because as men, as divine masculine men, if that is our intention, and that is what we choose to manifest, as I am manifesting as we speak, you need a foundation to build off of. You need to be sturdy and strong to be able to broadcast that frequency into this world. So having a strong foundation allows you to build and broadcast a strong toroidal field around your vessel, around your being, as you live in this world that we call 3D, earth, physical reality, matter, whatever you want to call it. We're all sharing this right now, and we all have certain patterns that by knowing these patterns, you can work with them instead of against them, just bumping around making noise. It'll make you a more efficient divine masculine being. So we covered some of the synthetics that are around us, some of the things that we maybe not even thought of. I used to drink plenty of beer growing up. I didn't know it was bad for me. I'd seen guys with beer guts and whatever, but I just thought that was because you're eating wings and food and all kinds of greasy shit as you're drinking, and the alcohol itself. But it's actually lowering your estrogen levels. So now we talked about some of the negatives. Let's get into some positives. Now, before we get into that, words are very important. When I said positive and negative there, I'm referring to positive meaning good, growth, abundance, in harmony with source. Manifesting with nature instead of against it, or with your own love, energy instead of against it. And then negative, I would say, would be the opposite of that. But when we get into electronics, the electrical conductivity of the body, it's going to be the opposite. So I'll make sure I let you guys know when that comes up, but it's going to come up right now. So your body, this is the positives. Your body is water, 80% water. Ever seen somebody, hopefully not seen it, but after someone's cremated, they have the urn of ash. That's the minerals left over after the water evaporated from the body. Most of us, we're a body of water, literally a bubble of water, or a bunch of bubbles of water rather. So my divine masculine body is consisting of mostly water. Well, that gives me a great clue how to take care of the vessel. I have a pool that I take care of that I keep at a certain pH for the chlorine, for the copper, for the silver to work, or for the baking soda to work. So I use a little bit of chlorine in my pool, just enough. I keep it less than 1, which is less than tap water. Just enough to clean, but I have copper and silver doing the bulk of the work. So I have a solar ionizer that puts silver and copper into the water. And then I use baking soda to balance the pH. The reason you have to do that is if the water molecule is disrupted, if it's either vibrating too fast or too slow and not right in the middle where it needs to be, things won't work in there. The chlorine won't work, the copper, it won't flow the way it needs to flow. So we need to be right in the middle. Now our body's middle ground, (7.35 to 7.45 pH. If you notice, 7 is neutral on the pH scale. So we are just over neutral on the side of growth, abundance. Here's where the opposite numbers come in. This is about minus 25 millivolts. That's what that relates to. 7.35 pH, 7.45, it's about minus 25 millivolts. So when I see that growing up in school, I thought, oh, that means I take away 25. It's a negative. It's taking away. But it's actually the opposite in physics. This is one of the tricks that have been used against us with words and everything in the world that we live in. It's a mirror image. They reverse it on us. So Guys think, oh, beer is good for, beer. We're men. We work, we drink. That's what I used to do. I get home from tearing the house down at work. I get home and I crack a cold beer, and that's what I was doing. But it was actually hurting me. Now I do opposite, and I'm feeling better. So 7.35 minus 25 millivolts, that means there's actually abundance of energy, so your body can heal. If you have free radicals in your body, or if you have an injury, like say you cut your finger, your body goes, that area will go to minus 50 millivolts, which means your body is flooding that area with extra energy. Today's physics would call it electrons, but if you really understand the ether and how things work, that's not right. But it's putting extra energy in there. Just look at it that way. So you're getting minus 50 volts to heal a wound. So your body's magnetic and electric. It's dielectric. Di means both too. So you have minus 50 millivolts, and it takes a minute to gather that, because we're also often think positive would be good, but it's actually negative in this case is good. So I'm letting you know just some of the hints that we have in the world that's polar opposite. So this is where your body wants to be, your blood pH. You get in this range, and you remove the synthetics that I had listed and a lot of other chemicals that we have around us, your body's essentially going to be healthy. It's going to have to try to get sick. You'd have to go out of your way to get sick, because your body will be balanced. When it's balanced, it can handle anything. It's what it's designed for. So let's go to a couple things that are good for us. In the world today that I see when I talk to men, I don't know how many men meditate or go within to talk to God, to talk to Source within, or themselves, however you want to look at it. It is all. I say all, which is all of us. That is one of the most beneficial healing modalities there is when the human body gets calm, meditative, rhythmic breathing in and out. And as you work that, when you built a fire and you have the wind bag and you blow up the fire, it's similar to the same thing in your body with your lungs. When you're inhaling and then breathing out, inhaling and breathing out, you are literally charging up your body, which actually has a calming effect on the body if you choose to. If you're doing it during a meditation where you're calming your body down, every breath you're getting calmer. Every breath there's more electricity going through your body, which allows it to heal, which allows it to relax, and then you get calm. It's amazing the way our bodies really work. So as a divine masculine, there are some plants that will help as well as meditation. But meditation is incredible. There's a lot of different types. A lot of people call things meditation. It's not really meditation. I'm not going to get into that right now, but my definition of meditation is literally neutral. Calming down, breathing, laying down. I can do it anywhere. I can meditate while I'm talking to you now. It's just you're calming your mind down, you're easing your body, you're literally allowing that hormones and balance and electrical flow and oxygen to percolate the body the way it needs to. You're meditative, you're calm, you're in neutral. The best way is, in my opinion, is laying in bed, just relaxing at the end of the day. That's my best meditation. But you can do it anytime, anywhere, as long as you know how to do it, and know you're not going to be in danger when you're doing it. So certain people can meditate while driving. Other people can't. They can, but they choose not to yet. So everybody's capable of all of these things. We all have infinite potential either way. The trick is how we do it and what do we want to do, because we have free will. So meditation is outstanding for the divine masculine, especially because in the world we live right now, men are being attacked on a level, and women have too, especially, but men have been attacked recently more and more, because there are a lot of agendas in the world right now. But if you have a man that's not healthy enough or not in charge of himself enough, he will not be a threat to certain things. So that's why they have to try to remove balance from us. So one of the plants that I've found and loved. Chalk's almost out. Stinging nettle. Nettle. Stinging nettle by far has more benefits than pretty much everything I buy at the grocery store. And I only buy organic, non-GMO food. And I do a lot of fruits and veggies. And this blows it away. And you could find it in the woods growing at the edge of any forest in the northern hemisphere, pretty much, that I'm aware of. It grows a lot. It's like dandelion. They grow all over the place. Dandelion's incredible for you. You know, dandelion cleans your liver out, the root, if you make a tea out of it. The leaves are good for salads. The flowers are good for salads. We can get into this another time too, but water has memory. Our bodies remember what we interact with. So if you put some dandelion flower in a cup of water, that water is going to be structured to the energy, the resonance, the frequency of that dandelion flower, and it's going to be beneficial for your body. You do the opposite. They've done this with labs, Dr. Emoto in Japan, and they would test sewage water, and they would test flowers, flowers in the water. The water remembers what it's by, and so does your body. So there's a lot of divine masculine energy that's flowing through all of us, but our wounds from childhood, from past lives, from current life and current moment, all of those wounds can almost form like a layer of clouds. It's almost like a mist around your divine masculine. It's always there. Your divine masculine's never gone away, or your divine feminine. Any being. This is not just for men right here. All beings. We have divine masculine, divine feminine. I mean, it's simple as this. Divine masculine is outward flowing. Divine feminine is inward pulling. So the masculine shoots out. The pull, because you're in ether, you're in an ocean of energy, is so strong that this pull will literally pull this masculine back down here. And as it does that, it's giving shape to the Taurus. So duality itself is made of masculine and feminine energy. And every one of us are part of that. And we all share this energy within each other, each and every one of us. So understanding things like this are going to help you be the best version of yourself that you can be, as long as you're willing to take the steps necessary. Now, stinging nettle is incredible for balancing male hormones, female hormones. It's good for hair growth. It's good for inflammation. I've had a lot of back surgeries, and the last time I had rods in my back with screws, the rod snapped. I mean, all 3 times I've had rods in there with screws, they snapped. But the last time they snapped and the screws were ripping in and out, and I used stinging nettle and CBD for pain. I was out of bed walking around doing, light duty chores, but I was able to move. I wasn't bedridden. So stinging nettle is incredible for inflammation. Incredible for it. As I said before, it's good for balancing your hormones. Men, if you have prostate issues, if your prostate's swollen because of the things I listed before, sugar, beer, junk food, processed sugars, synthetic chemicals, those all inflame the prostate. They bring the body out of balance. Females actually have it more than I believe than men. Thyroid issues. Well, that's because of the synthetics we're bombarding ourselves with, and the feed, it's not even food anymore that we're eating, or many of us are. That's causing the issue. But most importantly, like I said at the beginning of the video, your emotions are first, then your thoughts, then your physical activity. It's probably why it's called 3D. It's, I know it's three-dimensional, but it's third important versus your first is your emotions, your thoughts, then your food, physical matter. So, meditation's a good outlet to help channel the energy. Stinging nettle is incredible plants. Burdock is another one. I'm not going to get too deep. This is just a lesson 1 introduction. See if any of this resonates with you, or if all of it or some of it resonates with you. There's lots of plants we can go on for classes on plants alone, let alone meditation, let alone breath work. Now breath work. Breath of fire. Breath of fire helped me when I was bedridden from surgeries. I do my own version of it. I did it before I knew it was a thing. I was literally laying in bed and just experimenting with my body, how to make myself heal and help, not make myself, but allow myself to heal. Your body will heal as long as you allow it. Remember, the divine masculine, divine feminine never went anywhere. It's always been here, but we wrap it with a cloud created by our egos. So how can I calm the ego down and loosen it up, its stranglehold on its cloud on my energy, and shed it at a pace that I can heal and be balanced and share that with others? Breath of fire was a big step right there, because I was literally laying there and I was doing rapid. And when you're doing that, you want to use your belly. And literally, a good movie for guys, you may have seen it, Incredible Hulk. There was a part where he was training how to control his breath. This was like 2 movies ago, Incredible Hulk. But he literally was doing breath of fire with a yoga master. And it's literally rapid in and out breaths with your belly. And you can, I've done it with my nose or my mouth, but you can literally, and you're channeling that energy as you're breathing in and out real fast, repetitively. Imagine it's like there's a really good video I'd love to show right now. Maybe I'll add it in the video, of a wave pool in a lab going up and down based on frequency. They applied a certain frequency to a wave pool, and the waves started manifesting instantly across the whole pool. Same thing in your body. As you're breathing, doing that breath of fire in and out, and you're charging up your furnace, you're firing up the furnace. You are literally moving energy. And that chi energy going around your body, you can channel and do amazing things with. Heal yourself, many things. There's ways, and we're not going to get into all of it right now, but there is a lot that we can do with that energy. That is our answer, our creative force that Source has bestowed upon us. It's a very powerful tool, but it's very, with great power comes great responsibility. So using it properly, using it in harmony with nature, in harmony with Source within, and helping around you, helping everything around you and yourself. So filling your cup up and letting it overflow onto others. So breath of fire is a really good one. There are also other, there's any kind of infinite number of breaths. We could keep making them up, but I find that it depends on the day, how the day's going. Like right now, you could probably hear it in my voice. My rib cage is digging into my lungs, so my voice will be a little higher or muffled somewhat. And that's because I'm literally digging in, because I had so many surgeries in my back that at the end of the day, the ribs are just hunching over, which I'm working on opening that up. And breath of fire helps. But end of the day, when I go in the house now and shower, I'm going to lay down in my chair or my bed, and I'm going to do real deep. Fill up your whole stomach, chest, open the whole chest up. Let it all out. As I'm doing that, I imagine almost like squeezing a towel out, squeezing the water out of a towel. Just my whole body just shedding all the shit from the day that I didn't need to hold on to. Remember I said water has memory. When you're at work, stressed, somebody yells at you, somebody cuts you off in traffic, you stubbed your toe, who knows? A job didn't go the way you wanted it to. Whatever you do in life, something that perturbed your energy, something that tapped the water molecules of your body and you held in there. It could be an accident from 20 years ago. It could be a baseball slide from high school. We hold it on. We hold on to it. Every time I'm laying down at night, I'm just letting it all go. We don't need to carry it anymore. There's a picture I just did, but I took a picture at a Colorado Garden of the Gods. There's a big boulder, and I went underneath it, holding it up, acting like I was lifting it, and I said in the picture, that weight you've been carrying was meant to be temporary. Why do we carry weight? Why did I carry weight on my spine? It was a lesson for me. I've learned the lesson. I'm still learning some of it because I'm still hunching, but that's also my lesson from surgery, not letting doctors tinker for 10 years, surgeons, but that's my lesson as well. But my original lesson was not to carry the emotions and burden that were going around me. and not judge myself so much, not carry so much weight like I have to help everybody get it done. Being in the world, but not of the world. That's what Christ teaches. So you can move like water and flow, ebb and flow. There's no need to carry and crash and get knocked around. If you choose to, that's your free will, you can. But we don't have to do it. And there are a lot of answers how to get out of that pattern, the wheel of Dharma that many of us find ourselves in. So that's a good start. I'm going to catch you guys in the next video, and we're going to keep this going. Thank you.